One of the most endearing things about the One Piece world is its vast world building. Oda has meticulously crafted this world and included many different types of races, cultures, lifestyles, food, and even fighting styles. Even the nature of One Piece, the wildlife of One Piece, is unique. There are different types of wildlife in the sea and on land and even above in the skies. However, there's one creature that in the One Piece story may have played a huge role in the One Piece world. Dragons. Over the few years, there has been an emergence of dragons in the One Piece world. They are being talked about more, and we have seen more dragons than we ever have in the One Piece world. It seems that dragons will play a certain role in One Piece. Because the word dragon occurs lots of times in the One Piece world. You've got Luffy's dad, Dragon. You've got the world nobles, who are also called the Celestial Dragons. You've got the world nobles Mark, the hoof of the dragon. You've got Vegapunk constructing artificial dragons in Punk Hazard. You've also got Ryuma, whose kimono has the kanji for dragon. And it seems that Kaido has a dragon devil fruit. Whether Kaido is an actual dragon who ate another fruit, or Kaido was a human and he ate a dragon devil fruit, the point is he is a dragon. Whatever the connections are that explain the significance of dragons in the One Piece world, it's obvious that it's heavily linked to the world nobles and the Void Century. So in this video I'll try to explain and answer all dragon related questions and theories. Well, not you dragon, you're a different kind of worms that I'll probably make another video for you, but yeah, let's go. Now let's start from the top, and I mean that literally. Let's start with the world nobles. So the Japanese way of writing world nobles is here. The first two characters means world or sekai. The last two characters means noble or kizoku. So it literally means world noble. But if you look at the other way of saying or referring to world noble, the Tenryubito. Now let's look at that for a second. This is how you write it, and the literal translation of Tenryubito is Heavenly Dragon Folk. This has lots of implications. Obviously, it could be referring to the world nobles being so above everyone else they are revered as gods, because dragons are revered as gods in some cultures. Or it could be taken literally, where they believe they are descendants of dragons, so they would have dragons at their disposal back in the past. I prefer the latter reasoning, because we've seen the mark of the celestial dragons and it's a hoof of the dragon. It's the hoof of the dragon, that's what it's called. It's like their trademark symbol. It's a similar idea to the Targaryens from Game of Thrones. They are believed to have dragon blood in them, and they think they are the descendants of dragons, and their trademark features are their silver hair and their purple eyes. Considering the vast world of One Piece and the attitudes of these world nobles, it's not very far-fetched to believe that they might have had dragons at their disposal. And we know that dragons existed in the One Piece world because Ryuma killed one, and we'll be getting onto Ryuma later on, but that's a very important point. Ryuma killed a dragon, and dragons definitely existed in the One Piece world. Just imagine how much power you would have if you owned a dragon. Never mind a dozen dragons for 19 different families of the world nobles. No wonder the world government is in power still. It's because of the aerial domination that dragons offer. The One Piece world is majority water, and the only way to travel in those conditions is by sea, by boat. And having aerial domination with dragons, you can easily control the seas and the world. It all makes sense from a worldly perspective, and it also makes sense from a thematic perspective. World nobles believed to be some above creation than anyone else that lives on the blue sea, and having these creatures that govern from above the skies, Yeah, it just makes sense that they would have dragons at their disposal. However, the point is there aren't any dragons left in the world. Why is that? My theory is that the dragons were all killed during the battle with the Ancient Kingdom. I believe that the dragons were a devastating force against the Ancient Kingdom, and they defeated the Ancient Kingdom with the dragons. However, every single dragon that fought in that battle lost and died, and the world nobles lost a major power, and their power diminished after being the Ancient Kingdom. But like, think about it. The Ancient Kingdom was the only kingdom that opposed the world government. And for 900 years, the world government has maintained the world and suppressed any rebellion that may have been forced against them. But recently, the world is in chaos. You've got supernovas, you've got the Yonko, you've got the Revolutionary Army, everything in chaos. And there needs to be a great cleansing, according to the Gorosei. And this is where Vegapunk comes in, and his artificial dragons. We first get to see the artificial dragons in chapter 655, and it seems to have all the attributes of a dragon, being able to fly, being able to breathe fire. And there was the other dragon, the green dragon, and is the second model of dragon developed by Vegapunk. It seemed to be more sturdier than the first one, and really fierce, but it's very cowardly when fighting strong opponents. Now the interesting thing about these two dragons is that both of them were Western dragons, the same type of dragons that Ryuma killed. So it seems that the world nobles have an affiliation with Western dragons. Now what's really interesting is that Vegapunk also did some research on creating artificial devil fruits, and the artificial devil fruit that was considered a failure that Momonosuke ate is a dragon, but it's an Eastern dragon, the same type of dragon that Kaido is. It's important that we make these two distinctions between the dragons. Chinese dragons or Eastern dragons are considered to be lucky and good. They mainly have weather powers, while Western dragons are seen as evil and malevolent. They are often described in fairy tales to be guarding gold and princesses, and the hero will come and slay the dragon. Taking that into account, do you think Vegapunk tried to create Eastern dragons to fight the Western dragons that the world nobles ordered him to make? Was Vegapunk really thinking in a Pokemon logic, like a dragon can only kill a dragon, like the dragons will be super effective against him? Maybe the Ancient Kingdom had Chinese dragons, or were Chinese dragons via devil fruits. Maybe Chinese dragons still exist in the world. There's still the mystery about the egg on Roger's ship, and many believe that that is a dragon. That's a dragon egg. And maybe Monkey D. Dragon ordered Vegapunk to artificially create dragon fruits. Because there are theories that Vegapunk is actually a double agent for the Revolutionary Army. Because why would he do favors for Kuma, who is adored by the Revolutionary Army? And why would Dragon ask Vegapunk to create artificial dragon fruits? People believe that Dragon actually has links to the Shimosuke family, and I'll leave a link in the description to a video that explains the theory, and it's a really good video. I recommend watching the video and coming back to this. But to streamline the theory, I just want to focus on this one point. Dragon's tattoo is a very distinctive tattoo, and then if you look at Ryuma's kimono, the patterns of Ryuma's kimono, they are very similar. They are basically the same pattern, except for the square on Dragon's tattoo and the kanji in Ryuma's kimono. And the kanji in Ryuma's kimono is dragon. That's the kanji, dragon. Dragon is a very knowledgeable person. He probably has almost cracked the code for the Void Century. He probably knows about the battle between the world government and the Ancient Kingdom, and he probably has intel and secret agents inside Marie-Joie. Maybe Dragon is trying to fight fire with fire. He's trying to use the same strategy that the ancient kingdom used back in the past. And he is the closest person to ever get to it in 900 years of the world government ruling the world. Ultimately, what brings down the world government is going to be their own mark, their own symbol of power, the thing they are most proud of, and by their name. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I tried to put a lot of thought into the video. It might have been a little scattershotted, but it is what it is. Dragons. Everyone's excited to talk about dragons, especially in Wano. So leave your guys' thoughts on the video. What you think will happen? What's the significance of dragons? Why is it important? What's the egg? The egg? And yeah, be sure to like the video, subscribe, share the video, everything, all of that, and peace out. Stay safe, guys.